After dinner, I took a bike ride with my dog, holding on to his leash as I rode my bike. And I remember my daughter saying, "Will you stay and play this game, this ball game that we played?" I said, "No, why don't you go ride your bike with me?" She said, "No, I want to stay home," and that's it. That's all I remember.
And then the next thing, my phone's ringing, and it's from his cell phone, and it was the EMTs, and they said that asked me if I can't remember exactly what they asked me, but asked me if I was his girlfriend or his wife, and that he had had an accident and he didn't know his name, and could I come down and help them out to identify him. And then the EMTs asked me what his name was, and told me that he more than likely suffered from a concussion, and that they were going to take him to the closest suburban hospital. By the time we got to the hospital, they let us go into the emergency where he was, and the doctor grabbed me right away and said, "We've already called air care. It's on its way. He's going to be transported to UC Medical Center." We got to UC, and the doctor finally called us back, and he actually ran. There was like a little meeting room that we went to, and he ran in and he said that that we have to do emergency surgery. We have to take off a piece of his skull to allow for the swelling. And he's like, "Do you have any questions?" And I was like, he said, "No, do what you have to do." And he ran away. And at that point, I think was when I really realized that this was pretty serious stuff that we were going to deal with.
Well, I think UC Health saved my life that night. That if they weren't there to operate like they did on me, I have no doubt that if I didn't die, that I would have serious complications.
I have no doubt that if it weren't for UC Health and the fast action of the doctors, that John wouldn't be where he is today.
John's a fighter. If you could have seen the original CAT scan and how bad your lungs were up front, you fought hard. We gave you a chance. We leveled that playing field for you, but you did all the hard work. I think it was a lot to do with your cheering section. The first thing I remember about when you arrived in the ICU was the CAT scan and the bleeding and the need for surgery and the lungs going haywire pretty quickly, and knowing it was going to be a rough OR course. We know that in the last 10 years, the outcomes for patients with severe traumatic brain injury have gotten so much better. A lot of it has to do with the protocols we follow and the type of care we provide in the ICUs now. The surgery happens definitively and quickly, and it's different than it was a decade ago.
They saved my life that night. The team gave me a second chance here at UC Health and then down at Drake too. I mean, it just got me back to where I was. When I hear air care before I was hurt, I didn't, it was a helicopter, look up, see the helicopter, not think anything of it. But now when I see air care, I think that, something horrible has happened to someone, and that it's a life-changing event for them and for their family, and that it isn't just a helicopter ride, that, it's an event in their life.
Maybe we can take you upstairs and show you the helicopter. What air care brings to the field is a critical care nurse, an emergency physician, blood, and a lot of expertise and speed. The speed of this thing is unbelievable. We move a lot faster than you do on the ground, especially during rush hour. And we're essentially a mobile emergency department or ICU in the air.